the January 28th Sorghum U in Perryton, Texas, Bonnie Pendleton discussed sorghum crop scouting and controlling aphids. Pendleton, a professor of integrated pest management and entomology at West Texas A&M University, talked about cultural practices that control pests.
Essentially, worldwide, there are 100 different insect species that infest sorghum, but luckily in this area we don't have too many. And recognize that those insect pests go all the way from the planted seed, wireworms, all the way through to the harvest and even into the storage, the grain storage after harvest. So it depends on the pest, but aphids can infest the plant fairly early, fairly young plants, and then they can, some species, and they can actually remain around until almost harvest time. Aphids tend to be found on the lower side of the lower leaves first, where they suck juice and then move up the plant. So you need to look at the lower leaves of the sorghum first, and then also inspect other parts of the plant in different areas of your field. Try to avoid the borders, the margins, but inspect different areas of the field. Also, while you're doing that, look for natural enemies, because natural enemies are really important to conserve for sorghum because they eat a lot of the pest insects. And so with the natural enemies and also the cultural control practices like crop rotation and destruction of weeds around your field, those things will keep the sorghum pests, most of them in check, so you don't need an insecticide application. It's been fun working with integrated pest management for the past 30 years, and it's been really interesting helping develop resistant sorghums for more than 20 years, mostly against the aphid types, and now we're working on resistance of sorghum grain, stored grain, to different insect pests, weevils, and whatever. So plant resistance, I think, is a really great thing to use, and it's, especially with the newish sugarcane aphid, the plant resistance actually is ahead of the game, and we now have several resistant sorghums being put out and released by several different companies, as well as newish insecticides that have special Section 18 labels now against the sugarcane aphid. So it's been interesting helping develop the resistance.
For more information, visit hpj.com/sorghumu.